What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing Jonah Hill's directorial debut, Mid90s. So we had a chance to go see this movie. We had a press screener for this about a week ago, and I've been really thinking about this movie ever since I saw it. Really had a great time with this movie, and it's really a nostalgic ride for me growing up in the mid-90s. You know, being a young punk, trying to find who I am, trying to skateboard, you know, break my leg and just be rebellious. So I'm a huge fan of A24. They're one of my favorite studios now. They keep putting out great and unique films. The last movie they put out, Hereditary, one of my favorite horror flicks of the year, one of my favorite movies of the year. So I was really excited to go into A24's newest film, directed and written by Jonah Hill. So in mid-90s, we follow a young 13-year-old kid named Stevie, played by Suljic. He's an excellent young actor. He was in another A24 flick, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. So he's definitely a good young actor. Playing this character, it's summer. He's really awkward. He has an older brother played by Hedges. He plays the character Ian. Him and his older brother don't get along, and Lucas Hedges' character is kind of like the big brother that's a bully, beats the shit out of Stevie all the time. But basically when Ian leaves, Stevie goes into his room to kind of see what his older brother listens to, like music, what he's into. So we're coming across a lot of 90s hip-hop, Mobb Deep, just a lot of great music early on in the film. I mean, you see so many pop culture references back to, you know, the mid-90s. You see like a Super Nintendo, you see like Ninja Turtles, Comforter, and posters on the wall. So, you know, early on it really got me excited because I was a kid in this era, so I had all this shit in my room. And you can see that Jonah Hill really cared about this era and this story because he seems like he put a lot of heart into this script and just portraying and getting all these pop culture references down. And not to mention they shot this in 60 millimeters, so 4:3 ratio. So it definitely has that VHS tape style to the film. So I really appreciated that. Stevie, you know, he's a young kid. He's trying to find out who he is, what he's really into, trying to fit in, trying to make friends. So young Stevie comes across a skating shop and these group of kids. They're pretty much foul-mouthed little turds, but they're a great cast of kids. A lot of them unknown, first time acting, finds out about skateboarding, he starts talking to them. They hit it off, and he's like the youngest kid in this group. He's like 13, the rest of them are like 16, 17. So you know that they're gonna get into some shit, you know, with some drugs and booze and just being wild and reckless at that age. So with this film, it's not like a huge plot, there's like a huge climax. It's just basically the story of these kids, and more importantly Stevie, coming across these group of skateboarders, learning how to skate, and just gaining this friendship with these group of guys, and just being a young kid. With the audience and myself, you know, I could really relate to this, and not just because I grew up in that era, but just more the way that the story is written of, you know, developing friendship and overcoming hard times and not having the best family and doing the best that you can to make yourself happy. And that includes, you know, art or music or skateboarding. There's a lot of great elements in this movie that Jonah Hill depicts perfectly. So I love the way that they film these skateboarders. You know, if you grew up in that era, if you watched skateboarding back in the 90s, of like Element and Birdhouse and like Chad Muska, you know, all the skaters back in the day, the way they always had the handheld cameras and showing them skating, and they want to become professionals or pro skaters. Really focused on that aspect, and I really love that because it was shot and it felt like it was straight from the 90s. These kids are out in the streets. A lot of them don't have great families, don't have great households to go to, so they end up sleeping out in the streets, and they're struggling, but they're trying to find their way into a better life, their way out of LA. And Nickel Smith played Ray. He was like the leader of this group of skateboarders, and he had a lot of heart and passion, and he really cared about these group of guys, and he cared about young Stevie. You know, he took interest into him early on, and they gained this friendship, you know, somebody that Stevie can look up to and talk to, because Ray has been through a lot of shit in his past with his family, with his brother. It's really compelling storytelling in this, and these group of kids really have this really great chemistry. You can tell that even on camera or off camera that they seem like they're a group of friends, that they care about one another. So throughout the movie, this group of skaters are skating at different places in California, you know, that's not always legal, so the cops show up. There's a lot of great comedy in this movie. I have to add to this, you know, with these kids, you know, they're foul-mouthed and they're cussing a lot. They're talking about pussy and getting laid and getting high and all that stuff. But there's one really funny scene in the movie where they're hanging out and the cop shows up and he's like yelling at Stevie to come over there to talk to him. Olin Prenat, I don't know if you pronounce it that way, but His character's name's Fuck Shit because he says fuck shit all the time, yelling at this group of kids, and he yells at fuck shit, and he calls them like Sheryl Crow, because he does look like Sheryl Crow from the 90s. He had like the beanie and the long blonde curly hair. It was like one of the funniest scenes in the movie. With that being said, you know, there's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of heart in this movie. You know, this is a movie that you want to hang out with these kids. You want to go skateboarding. You just want to hang out with them and just laugh and crack jokes and things like that. And coming from a first-time writer and director, Jonah Hill, he did an excellent job with this movie, Mid90s. I was really looking forward to this. This movie definitely exceeded my expectations. It's a movie you have to go see in the movie theater and support A24. It's only an hour and 20 minutes long, so it's a pretty short flick. It gets straight to the point. And like I said, it's not really plot heavy. There's not like a major climax or anything like that. It's more the story of these kids and a young Stevie coming across this group of friends and them gaining this relationship. So this is a movie that I can really relate to growing up in the mid-90s, you know, being a young angsty kid, wanting to skateboard, wanting to play music, not listen to my parents and just go hang out with my friends. So it's something that was really close to my heart, and I really appreciated that Jonah Hill, you can tell that he cared about this movie and he put a lot of hard work and heart into developing this movie. This is a great ensemble of actors, young actors. I love Sonny playing Stevie. The rest of the kids, the skateboarders, were fantastic. Katherine Waterston plays Stevie and Ian's mom. She was great in this movie. And again, Lucas Hedges, huge fan of his. It was weird seeing him in like a bad guy, bully kind of character, but he really pulled it off. So he was fantastic in this movie. And one last thing I want to talk about, the score of the movie. It was done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. They're no strangers to making scores and making phenomenal soundtracks. And their score really adds to this movie, especially with its beautiful shots of the skateboarders, you know, skating down the streets and things like that. So another great aspect of the film. Overall, I'm going to give Mid90s a 4 out of 5 skateboarding hair pieces. So if you guys have seen Mid90s, what did you think of Jonah Hill's directorial debut? What did you think of the cast, the performances, all the skate sequences? What was your favorite part of the movie? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out from the local skate park. Hopefully one of those little hoodlums don't hit me in the head with a skateboard. Until next time, cheers!